our first guest of the evening, Scott O'Shaughnessy, the Irish Spartan himself. He will be fighting Jared Warren January 29th in Jackson, Mississippi, BKFC Fight Night. Let's bring him on in and see what's up. What's up, Scott?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's up?
As you just heard, we're doing very well. Mike's about to get a bump up the ranks, man.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
You know,
Excited.
If they could have saw us 20 years ago, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome, man. So last time we saw you, you were fresh off of fighting David Simpson and I believe Biloxi, Mississippi. Another victory for you then. You're on a 2-fight win streak to start your bare knuckle career here, and you're about to fight another really tough opponent in Jared Captain Deadpool Warren, January 26th. How excited are you about this, getting back in there?
See, I couldn't be more excited, especially with, the opponent. Obviously there's a lot of on the line for the fight, between talking with the company and just, for myself as a person. I think this is a good test and a good challenge, and we're going to see what happens on January 29th.
It's your guys' weight class is really starting to pick up some steam, man. The 185 weight class, I mean, between Lorenzo holding the light heavyweight belt and Joe Riggs being around and yourself and Jared Warren and Josh Dyer and Zion and now Jomi's coming over. Holy smokes, dude. And then earlier on in that same night in Jackson coming up, you got Ryan Jones against Boss Hogg too. It's like there's a bunch of 185ers now. It's really cool to see how they're starting to really build up some of these weight classes.
Yeah, and as a fighter, I mean, that's exciting. That's all you really want, because the only time you really get the best out of yourself from as a fighter is when you get hungry by seeing those guys also in the division, because you want to be the alpha in it. And I think that's the good thing about it is like everybody in that division feels the same way about kind of themselves, so 2022 is going to be a big year, especially for the 85-pound division, and I could be more excited, dude.
I mean, you two are highly skilled fighters. You look great in your last fight against David Simpson. You basically dominated the first 3 rounds. I thought you might have put it into cruise control a little bit towards the end of the fight just to ride it out, but that gave David a chance to come back a little bit. And then you showed perseverance. You came back and you battled back and won the 5th round as well. So it was a really good display of your talents last time out. And Jared Warren himself, he showed perseverance himself because, Zion Tomlinson kind of gets shot out of a cannon every time he fights. When that fight started off, Zion did his thing, full speed ahead, and Jared weathered the storm and dropped him with that big left hand. So it's
that was a good one. I was there actually, so I saw that one. I saw that one in Tampa live, and I was super impressed by Jared. Yeah, because like you said, Zion really came out pretty hard, and he marked Jared up pretty quick. But he, in however long, a minute and some change, Jared's eyes shut, but the other guy's laying on the floor. So it just shows a lot about him, and I respect that.
No, in your fight against Simpson, did you get a broken nose? I can't remember. I know that you were leaking a lot when we were talking after the fight. You were leaking from your nose, but was it broken?
I don't know if it was broken. I mean, I know the doctor moved it around a little bit. I don't know if that means it's broken or not, but that shit hurt.
Yeah, that's cool though. You're about to fight for your 3rd time in 10 months, man. Absolute warrior or Spartan, maybe.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
Spartan, you like Spartacus, Crixus? Do you ever see that show, Spartacus?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Who do you think your fighting style's like? Who are you in that?
Crixus was pretty good.
He is.
Aside from the homoeroticism.
Yeah. There was a lot of there was an awful lot of dudity in that show.
I mean, it doesn't bother me none, but I mean, yeah.
What's funny is 2012-13 deployment that me and Mike were on, there was a USO tour that came around, and it was the whole cast of Spartacus that came through. And
that's awesome.
met all the troops. Crixus, you know how he looks like jacked and like real big on TV? Like, I'm not a huge guy myself, but I'm a 205 pounder. I think he was about 2 inches, maybe an inch shorter than me, and probably like 20 pounds less than me, to be honest with you.
Kidding.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be
huge.
Yeah. It's something about TV, dude. Yeah, I was like, man.
I've heard it adds some pounds. I don't know if it's true. It must be.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was very cool to see them. Um, yeah, so Jackson, Mississippi, that's pretty close to Slidell, right? Like how far from home is that for you?
Yeah, like 2.5, 3 hours. It's not bad. It's not a bad little trip, you know. So we plan on making it, you know, the Thursday before, hanging out a little bit, weighing in Friday, and doing some work Saturday, and coming home.
Oh boy, look at this. We got Zion Tomlinson watching you right
There
now.
he
No,
is.
I like Zion. I think he's going to be a big plug in the sport. He's so young, starting off in bare knuckle. I think he's going to be pretty damn good. He's already
Right.
good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is, and I feel like he's always online. He's always interacting, and people love that. People like to see interaction online, like to see you, and he likes to talk a lot of shit too, which is fun. It's always fun.
No, I like it. Don't bother me none.
No, yeah, Zion gets it, man. You got to be out there. You got to be active, especially being 21 or 22 years old, whatever he is.
Crazy, yeah.
That's like his thing, man. What do you? Let me ask you your opinion on this. You say none of it doesn't bother you none, but do you pay attention to all the like the meme wars and all the trash talk that goes on in the bare knuckle community?
I read it. You know, I mean, all the message boards and stuff. Yeah, I read it. You know, it's
What are
not
your
my
thoughts on it?
it's not my thing. You know what I mean? I think it kind of you know, but one thing I noticed, it's not really for the most part. There's a few. It's not really a lot of the fighters that get into it. It's just the people on the outside, kind of looking in, trying to ride on some people's, you know, coattails, so to speak. I think. Um, Most of the fighters don't do it. The ones that do, I think they just have a tactic of trying to make themselves more of a brand on social media. You know, but of course that's important. But you know, I think the way you perform inside that square circle is really what makes all the difference, and that's what I'm trying to focus everything on, as opposed to doing the other crap. You know, there's a time and a place. Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
Put him in a body bag.
put him in a body bag. Yeah, man, I don't really like it either. I mean, a little bit of it here and there is fun. Like when Josh Burns and Sam Shoemaker were doing it, those were like light pokes at each other, little
Yeah,
mean things. But when it starts to get real personal and they start saying
yeah,
all this real
that's
nasty shit, I fucking hate it, man. I think
I
it's
get selling a fight, but you look at a lot of it too. Like it shows during the fight. I mean, you look at kind of like it's not, I mean, it's not bare knuckle, but like when Colby Covington fought Usman after the fight, he's like, I was selling the fight. Well, that's kind of chicken shit a little bit. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. If I don't think you should say one thing and be about another, unless there's an agreement between the two, which happens also. You know, but you know, I'm not gonna let somebody just do that to me, then slap my hand after like we're friends. I mean, it just it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But I get it.
yeah, you don't play that shit.
Nope, not a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Yeah.
None. Never.
Never, ever,
Never,
ever.
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 Bam.
Hey, but you know what? You never know. You
You
never
Never know.
That's a Jerky Boy shout out right there,
That's
man.
right.
That's fucking-
That's right.
Hey, so you posted something the other day that you said you have to be the strongest 185 pounder on the planet. Have you changed? Are you like getting more into like powerlifting, and focusing more on power or something like that, or is that just something you've always been into?
I mean, I've always been into it, but we're doing everything. Like we're pulling out no stops for this training camp. Like, you know, working speed, working technique, but then on days working just sheer power, sheer explosiveness. You know, and my coach Kenny Stevens, and you know, he's just ripping me apart, but just building me up stronger. So yeah, that's always an emphasis. You know, I do think when it comes to pound for pound, I mean, I'm a strong guy, and I'm just, you know, I think that's something that we show and we work, and I think that's what I'll promote. You know, I'll promote myself. I'm not going to tear somebody else down to do it, you know, but that's just how I am.
Mike, it says here in the ad, you need bench work. Well, let me tell you something, pal. I'm pushing 350.
I'm the guy, okay?
I'm good with the thighs and the back too.
What do you think about that,
You
Bob?
know what that is, dude. I grew up on that crap, dude.
What do you say, Bob? What are you thinking,
Okay, Bill.
Paul? What do you say there, Bill?
That's awesome. I'm glad you.
What's up, Dad? Numb nuts.
Yeah,
Little
hey,
tits.
they
Hey,
call
what's
me
up there,
redneck.
scissor lips?
Oh man, I
Call
might
me
have to.
liver lips.
Yeah, I might have. Hey, what do you say we get together, paint each other up, dude? That's awesome. I'm glad you
Poking
know.
around with a hot
boys
box.
Yep. Oh man, so Jacksonville, I mean not Jacksonville, Jackson, Mississippi, man. This card, not only you and Jared, what a hell of a card you guys are on to start
yeah.
off the year. You got title shot in the main event. Caleb Harris, local guy, against Elvin Brito. You
Yeah.
know, everyone's one of everyone's favorite fighters. You know what I mean? Elvin's one of everyone's favorites. Then you got a couple female fights on there. It's like you got Bobo O'Bannon. I
Yeah.
said to somebody earlier today, I actually commented on something online. I was like, if I was the matchmakers and I'm not trying to tell them how to matchmake or build the cards, but if it was me and Bobo O'Bannon's not in the main event, he would be in the opening fight of the main card.
He'll start the show.
I
That's
would,
for damn
I
sure.
not the prelims, but the first fight
Yeah,
on the
right.
main
Oh,
card.
yeah.
Bobo, every time he fights, he cranks it to 11. The crowd ignites, and they never calm down for the rest of the night. So why not ignite the crowd right off the bat? Let Bobo go out there and throw down with Belcher. But I know they're in Mississippi. They're gonna have Belcher and like the co-main, so you got to do that.
Right. No, I agree. Bobo is a stud, man. I love watching the fight. Both my fights, he fought on the same card, and he's always a joy to be around, and watching him it's always intense, and I look forward to it every time. Especially obviously coming up now. I'm buddies with Alan. We train a little bit together, and I'm excited for it.
What fight as a fan are you looking forward to the most there to see?
I think the main event's going to be a good little battle, man, between Caleb and Elvin. You know, I think that's going to be a really good, stylistically just well matched fight between the two, and yeah, I just look forward to watching that from a fan's perspective for sure.
Right, and the improvements that Caleb Harris has made fight to fight to fight. Every time he goes out there, he seems to get a little bit better. And you
Yeah.
know, Elvin's always sharpening his craft. So, like, I can't wait for that one too. Like I'm saying, like they really put together a hell of a fight night card to start off the year. I'm surprised it's not a numbered card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Shook did a hell of a job on this one. There's this is honestly this is star studded as far as ability as a fight card you can ask for. And in my opinion, is looking at the docket. This is going to be just nothing but just hell of a fight, wars and just I can't wait.
Now, when you take a look at the landscape of your division, not saying you're looking past Jared Warren at all, but this would put you at 3-0 in under a year. This would put you at 3-0 in under a year. What do you think? Like, you think you would be like one or a fight away, maybe 2 fights away from a title shot, or are you not even thinking about that right now?
No, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, of course we think about it, but that doesn't mean we're looking past nothing. That's no way in the world we're looking past anybody. But I mean, you kind of look at on paper. I mean, there's matchups that I know about that are already made. When you got, obviously you got winners or losers of those fights. I think I'm right in the mix, in title contention with a win, right here.
Absolutely.
You
And
know, that's my opinion. And look, if they don't think so, and like I always say, I don't call people out. That's not my thing. You know what I mean? But if they think somebody's better than me, then let's get in there and do it. Because I want to earn everything that I get.
Right, like Dickman Dickelheimer, which is the greatest name that ever comments on any of our shows, Dickman Dickelheimer. He said you'd be 3-0 if you get past Jared. 3-0 against legit competition.
Yeah.
You got 3 stout opponents.
100%. And they know, we want good fights. We want to go against good competition. I think David, obviously, everybody knows who Melvin is. Melvin's a stud. You know what I mean? I think he looked great when he fought, Harris. He got kind of, I don't agree with that, the way that went down. I thought he was fantastic in that fight. And he gets caught by Joe. It happens. But Melvin is who he is. Melvin's kind of pound for pound as far as who they got on the roster. He's got pretty high accolades over anybody probably in the company. And then David being his first fight, it was kind of, you didn't know that dude's good, man. He took, just think about it. I mean, his butt touched the floor 5 times, 4 of them counted, but his butt touched the floor 5 times and he gets up every time and keeps fighting hard. You can't put that kind of stuff in somebody. So regardless of that being his first fight, I think he proved himself to be really good. And I think he's going to make some good waves in the division as well. And then obviously Jared on top, he's already got a name. He's got a number next to his name. Good knockout against Zion. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I appreciate that comment, but I agree. It's certainly 3 legit, competitors that we're going against without question.
Yeah, and upcoming opponent, like he has the knockout on Zion, but he's also fought tough competition as well. With
Yeah.
Josh Dyer's no joke. Brian Maxwell's tough. He goes out there and puts in a good effort every time. He doesn't always get the win, but you know what? He did knock out fucking Chad Ochocinco, right? I mean,
He did. I was talking about that in the office today at work.
That's
yeah,
funny.
that's funny. It's funny how Ochocinco pops up in like people's gyms here and there now. It's like I see like random fighters were like, "Hey, I was training with Ochocinco today." I'm like,
I think it's like Candyman. I think if you tag him in a post, he shows up.
Well, I
Maybe.
went to visit my in-laws. They all live in Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers,
Mhm.
right? So I was down there, and my sister-in-law, my wife, they're getting their nails done, and I'm sitting in the back on like a recliner, and then I like look to my left, and guess who it is? Ocho Cinco. He's on his phone, right? And he's got 3 girls, right? One's doing his hands, one's doing his feet, and the other one's giving a massage, and he's just on his phone in like this nice recliner. And I went on his page on like his Instagram, and he was live streaming some stuff like just like a minute before, like right there next to it. I was like, this son of a bitch. So
Yeah.
I go outside and I'm walking around. I come back and I was like, where's this guy's car? Like, I'm like, what does this guy drive? You know? He comes out and I'm like, all right, what car is going to be his? Because I don't see any like real fancy car around here, right? He gets into like a friggin' like a Volt or whatever, the fucking
Yeah.
tiny little fucking
electric
electric car. Yeah, like a teeny tiny little electric car.
no shit.
Gets out of there. I thought he was gonna hop out and like jump in like a Lamborghini or some shit. Nope.
Right.
That's funny, man.
No, he was in a little tiny electric car.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, like I met him at the last Hollywood, Florida event, and he was just standing next to. I was talking to Joe Elmore, and he was just like standing there the whole time. And so when I got done talking to Elmore, I like said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I put my hand out and we shook his hand, and I was like, "Nice to meet you, man. It's an honor." And then I straight up told him, I was like, I was never a fan of yours until you became a New England Patriot. Just being honest with you. And he started laughing, but he was cool, super cool guy, man.
Hey, what's up? Football. See ya.
Yeah. Hey, how's the are you still like full time working as a police officer while training for this fight?
Yep.
No
Same
time
as
off.
always, man.
Same as
Time
always.
detective, SWAT operator, DT instructor, the whole deal. That's my thing, man. I'll be doing that till I'm in the ground.
Shit's getting crazy lately, I tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Fucking.
What's
Jeez.
are you in like Sherlock? Is Nick Sherlock somewhere near you? Are you guys close to each other in
No, not right
proximity?
now.
No. I was gonna ask about that. You guys as officers ever run into like Malo and fucking and Nick Sherlock kicking a door in?
We have.
Yeah.
Nick has called me more than once and been, hey, I'm at this house and they're not coming outside. Like, can y'all come stand by? Yeah, sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we try not to get too much involved with the bounty hunters. You know what I mean? We're kind of there in case we're needed. But a lot of times we just say, do what you got to do. Please don't do anything stupid.
Shit, I'm about to roll up with a camera.
So let me ask you this, and maybe this is a better question for Nick. How does one become, what do you just apply for like a license to be or do you have to have some law enforcement background or something like that?
I'm sure it's certainly, helpful, but I think you got to like get like a mentorship from one of them, like someone like Nick. They kind of, you shadow them and you got to get a certain amount of hours and they basically sign off on you, kind of a deal. Of course, I believe there's some sort of licensure or whatever you got to get, but I'm not positive.
It's funny because I used to work in the casino up here at Mohegan Sun back in the day before I went full time with the military. And I used to wait tables up in the casino, and these two people were like, "Hey, you don't seem like you don't just wait tables, right?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm also in the Army National Guard on the weekends." But she's like, "Yeah, you carry yourself different." She's like, so we've been trying. So she's like, no, she was like, we're trying to find ourselves a PI to work the casino here. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, we own, and they gave me the business card, some private investigator firm from the western part of the state, but they get a lot of calls from the casino areas. We're like, we just need someone like follow around, like cheating spouses and workman's comp fucking schemers and like that. I'm like, I don't need any kind of training or license or anything. Like, nah, you don't need shit.
Sir, do you have eyes? You're hired.
I was like, okay, you could just any asshole could be a fucking private investigator for one of you guys. Okay, I didn't do it.
He's over at the Deja Vu Diamond slots right now.
For some reason, I just keep putting my finger to my ear when I talk. I'd be like, you see him over by the 20 Spanish 21 table. He's right there right now. I'm by myself. What the fuck are you doing over there, man?
You just double down, guys.
Yeah. It's funny how like
he spent all his time at Fairy Fortunes. I don't know. He wasn't making any money. He just kept losing all his money. That's like the dumbest slot machine names.
I'm following the workman's comp guy. He is walking into a men's pickup basketball game right now. He just dunked the ball. Yep. He's a fraud. Yeah, man. Well, it's cool to talk to you again. We can't wait to see you to fight on January 29th. Anybody who's watching right now that doesn't have the app, go get the app because it is the best, dollar for dollar. It costs like $4.99 and you get all these fucking fights, except for Knucklemania 2, of course. Knucklemania 2 is a true pay-per-view, but you guys want to watch this and you don't have the app, get it. And he's probably got a referral code on his IG, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, go to his Instagram, Scott_OShag, and click on the link and help your boy out, man. It's pretty awesome. It's a great matchup, and I really do think that it has future title implications.
No, without a doubt, it does. You can't really deny it at that point. You know what I mean? For either of us, it's a tough fight, and I think we're both gonna, put on a good show for the fans. And at the end of the day, I believe, I believe I'm the best in the world. If I'm wrong, then that's fine. But we got to figure that out the way we're supposed to. But every fight, just another step, another win. Just one foot after the other, man. We'll get there.
I apologize if we already mentioned this earlier when I was like sharing this podcast, but Isaac Doolittle left the BKFC, and he was somebody who was right there with you. He was undefeated, and he should have been in the next fight or two right up there, either fighting you or fighting for a title. So he's left. So that takes somebody out of the picture right there. So I feel like that even kind of clears that lane for you to move through even faster here.
I agree. His name was mentioned to us before. He was supposedly he injured his shoulder. He wasn't able to sign the contract, but his name was brought up too, and we accepted that verbally as well. We just want to fight the best guys. Plain and simple. Right.
I would imagine that Riggs would probably get the next shot after.
I have no quarrel with that. I 100% agree.
I would imagine that because honestly, we all saw the fight against Hector Lombard and we all thought that he was winning that fight before the doctor stopped it. Then he came out and he rocked Melvin Gillard with that punch through, like sent him through the ropes. Looked amazing. So he looks like he's right there in line for.
He's for sure. He's the guy. He's the number one contender, and I don't. There's nobody that could disagree with that. I don't think, at least with any common sense. He's the guy to fight Lorenzo next, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah. Then you got you two, and then the only one I would think of that maybe now that Doolittle's out of there, and I would think that Jomi coming over from BYB as the champion over there, if he goes out there and he looks impressive against Zion, maybe a you and Jomi fight, or
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. That fight's booked with him and Zion.
Him and Zion are booked for Knucklemania 2.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be a banger, man, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, for sure. Zion and him. Whew, good Lord. Don't blink, people.
No, that's going to be quick.
And Jomi has gone out to say that he wants to be the Thanos of bare knuckle. He wants to bring balance to the universe. He wants to go around to all the he wants to collect belts like Infinity Stones and So it's pretty cool, man. You guys got a freaking good thing going for you. Hey,
Yeah.
let's do a couple questions for you, and then we'll get you out of here. All right, speed
Yeah, man.
round with Scott O'Shaughnessy, OShag Hennessy. Here we go. Number one, what is your favorite episode or scene on the show Cops? You gotta have one.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't tell you. Look, I can tell you a little better with Live PD because I've been on that one. But
You've
no,
been
but
on that?
Someone asked that earlier.
yeah, I was on
actually.
Live PD a few times.
Someone
No,
just
so-
asked, I think, if they were even just there. Like, hey, wasn't Live PD in Slidell or
Yeah.
something? Not
Yeah.
knowing probably that you were on it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I was on Live PD. I got bit by a dog on Live TV on Live PD.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Was it a big
That's
dog?
awesome.
Was it a big dog worth like a story, or was it like somebody's Chihuahua?
It was a
got found in
freaking Malinois.
Is that? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a shepherd.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah. But
So, favorite story.
yeah, cops. Actually, I don't even know. But it's when the dude comes around the corner running on a foot pursuit and had the cop talking to somebody, and he turns around and sees the guy running at him and just Goldbergs him right in the middle of the freaking street. That's a pretty good story right there. That was my favorite scene that I can recall from Cops.
Is that something that you have experienced in your own life, and that's why you felt so close to the heart with that one?
Yeah. When justified to do so, we have to bring people to the ground. So yeah, I've been in that spot.
Goldberg. There you go. Number two.
If you were a Spartan in ancient Greece, what would you carry into war?
Just a shield and a sword, dude.
Shield and
Sword.
Give me a shield, give me a sword. That's
Right.
the way I do it.
Because if
man.
you use the mace with the ball, it gets stuck in someone.
Yeah, the chain could get tangled.
Yeah. There's a lot more room for malfunction. I'm a weapon guy. I want a Glock. We're not having a lot of malfunctions, right? So I want that sword.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna really mess up too much. I'm not gonna have to work anything in the field.
A spear, though, if you stab someone with it, and you can use it as a bow staff too.
Yes,
so.
it would be good.
That
It would be good.
both staff. What was your worst teacher in school, or who was your worst teacher in school?
Dude, Miss Hoffman.
I
6th grade, dude.
hate that lady.
Yeah, well, it was 7th grade. Miss Hoffman was a math teacher. Yeah, I remember look, I didn't have I didn't come from a lot of money. All right. So I was the kid that had like roaches and shit like in his in his book bag. I was a poor kid. I remember one time a roach comes out during class and they're like, "Oh, Scott, your uncle just came out of your book bag." And I was like,
Oh man.
Oh, what an
mean,
asshole!
yeah. So that's a fast answer. That's like a 19-year-old answer right there.
Man, you had that one locked and loaded, right?
Yeah.
I got like 7 too that I could take. All right, go ahead.
What
Mike.
is the best Wi-Fi name you have come across?
This is not the FBI.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, I see that. I've only seen it a couple of times. It's pretty good though.
No, if you drive
We
down,
can think of some good ones.
yeah, there's one strip down through Ockham, Connecticut. If you drive down there and look, there's like 7 people that have that all in one little apartment section, which happens to be like the worst apartment building in that whole area too.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's like
Kyle.
What's up?
Hey, you know what they say about Occam?
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em. That's like a
Yeah.
dumb old man joke.
Yeah,
from
it
our
is.
work.
And then they say,
People at our
what
work say that all the time. I'm like,
It-
this is a fucking-
Mike, and then they say, you know what they say about the girls in Ockham? Don't fuck them. That's
Don't you love dumb? Like, I'm sure, like in the in the department, you guys have these people, like the older guys. They got these dumb jokes. Like, so if we have a piss test, right, which we always do, it happens in the army, and they call names off. As soon, all right, Kyle say like, oh, I got
know what you're gonna
names.
say. You're
Yeah,
gonna
you
say.
go. I hate this shit too. It drives me nuts because it's like so unoriginal, and everyone does it. Kyle will be like, all right, what if I call your name? You're gonna fall it over here, and you're gonna take a piss test, right? And people start going, hope you studied. Hey, I studied all night. And I'm like, oh my god, like, dude, please just go fucking jump off the friggin' gold star right now.
I knew you were going to say that, man. There's,
I
always
hate
somebody-
that shit.
there's one in every platoon that's got
Yep,
that joke ready
every
to go,
fucking
dude.
time.
All right. And the last
Mr.
one. What,
Original.
scariest animal you've ever run into?
A bear, a freaking big bear, big old. Was it a brown bear, black bear?
Where were you when you ran into a bear?
Louisiana, North Louisiana.
Did you shoot it?
Freaking bear, dude. No, dude, you cannot. It basically They tell you if you shoot this thing, you better have bite marks on you.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's a big deal if you shoot them. They could be charging at you. You got better climb a tree. Unless he gets his hands on it, they pretty much. I'm telling you, they're dead serious too. They'll wildlife and fisheries will jump on your freaking butt if you shoot a damn bear. I'm not gonna let it bite me, but hell, I mean, I'm climb trees.
I heard a bear will eat you from the ass first. Is
Dude,
that true?
Specifically,
Yeah.
they will knock you out just to start at your ass. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've
They
seen
will
it.
eat you from the ass first. I heard
Yeah,
that on the Rogan podcast, and I was running. I actually was running a 5-mile trail around a fucking pond, and I was deep in there, and I heard that shit, and I was like, oh. And then the whole time I was like, yo, I hope there's not a bear here. You know, I don't want to be eaten from the ass.
I've never heard
from
that.
a bear.
This looks so tasty right now. I know it.
That's freaking hilarious, man. All right, man. Scott, thank you for coming on the show. Take a minute, shout out some people, thank whoever you want to thank, and give us a final prediction for your fight January 29th. I'll let you
Yeah,
start.
just a couple guys. You know, my big one's kind of Walking Threat has always been good to me. My own little line of shirts there. Mary Jane's House of Glass. We just did a deal with Fighters Friends, Brothers LA Arms, Precision Floor, and Schneider's Physical Therapy. I just did a deal with Champ Nola. They got my meal prep going on. And my coach Kenny Stevens owns an awesome food truck called Fridays. Look, but the main thing I want to talk about, and I'm kind of, it's a sponsorship, but it's nothing that I get from them. I just want to help spread the kind of the word of what they're doing. There's a company called MVP, My Veteran Passion. You know, all they do is they kind of support vets, you know, combat vets, just anybody they're struggling with mental health, they need support. Just whatever, you know, they do a lot of different things through Discord. They got a great Discord page called My Veteran Passion. Online gaming. They did a show tonight, and they're actually probably watching this right now. They streamed it. I know they did a little streaming thing. They had a bunch of guys kind of watching. They cooked some food. They kind of showed some guys how to make some fajitas and things like that. But yeah, so that's something that I really want to push, because a lot of the veterans, and I've kind of been there with law enforcement, being involved in critical incidents, and kind of the effects of that it takes a toll on you afterward mentally. And that's kind of crappy stuff to deal with. But really the only way to get help is kind of to reach out to other people who can relate to you. And that's when you really start kind of growing. At least that's what helped me, you know, kind of talking to people that's been where I've been, not just somebody who sits across the couch, you can't relate, but somebody that can relate. You know, in My Veteran Passion, they do that through cool stuff like gaming. You can sit here playing Call of Duty with your buddy who's been in the shit just like you. And even in that strange environment, talk about stuff you went through, and hell, realize that I'm not so messed up. He's dealing with the same stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that is really, really, really cool. And I think a lot of people should be more kind of, you know, present to that. You know, everybody that goes overseas and even law enforcement that deals with it, you know, when they come back from those critical incidents, it takes a big time toll, and they need support. So My Veteran Passion, you know, that's just there's a ton of them, but that's just one of the groups that I partnered with for this, you know, for these upcoming fights, and kind of using the platform that I have to promote that. So yeah, just check them out on, they're on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, just MVP. It's just an acronym, My Veteran Passion. Give them a look, give them a like, and show some support to the guys that fight for us every day, and who've already done it. And they're coming back and readjusting.
I saw you posted something about them yesterday or the day before, and I went and followed their page. I was checking it out. It's pretty awesome. It's definitely a cool thing.
Yep.
A lot of people got a lot of things in common, and nobody wants to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
you know, and I know we got to wrap it up, but that's the thing. Like, we all think that we're screwed up. At least that's how I was whenever I dealt with what I dealt with. You know, we think we're messed up, we think we're broken, and the more you talk about it, the more you realize you're not. You're human,
right.
And you've been through a lot of bad stuff, but that's not the end of it. You can use that, and you can recover. Then not only that, but you recover from that, then you're the guy that helped in the next one. And that's kind of the cool thing, you know. Once
Right, and you've also made a friend and somebody who you can talk to for the rest of your life, basically. You know what I mean?
100%. You know, military and, you know, in law enforcement too. That's some of the highest suicide rates, you know, that there is because of what you deal with.
Absolutely.
You know, so there's nothing wrong with shedding light on that. There's no shame in that. You know, it's that's what we're here to help people. I mean, I'm a servant. That's the way I look at life. You know, and I think that's part of it. You know, and is just find people that need help and do what you can to do that for them.
It's awesome, Scott. All right. Well, before we let you go, that we were going to say goodbye to you. Just 1 second. Al Morrow is in the waiting room, ready to come on. But before we let you go, I have to throw something up on the screen, and I have to ask you this question, or Big Ben is going to hate me for the rest of my life. Big Ben says, Scott, when you win, you promise me something. Tell these guys what it is.
Big Ben, I remember. I said if I win by knockout, which I do plan on, that is my prediction. If I win by knockout, I'm gonna get him with the Connor strut in the ring whenever I walk afterwards.
Nice.
I remember, but I'm not gonna forget you.
All right, there it is. Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you. We're looking forward to your fight January 29th against Jared Warren, and we'll catch up with you afterwards.
Thanks, guys. God bless.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yep. Later.